Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am so glad you're joining me today because we are going to do something desperately needed in the tech space right now. We are going to completely demystify generative AI. We are cutting right through the noise and replacing all that endless internet hype with grounded, practical reality. Look, if you felt totally overwhelmed by the sheer volume of AI tools launching every single week, or if you've tried them out and just felt, well, kind of underwhelmed by the results, you are in the exact right place. So let's jump right in.
Okay, this is literally the million-dollar question, isn't it? Why does every single AI tool look like absolute magic and a polished 60-second demo on your feed, but the second you sit down to use it for your actual, real-world job, it just falls flat? It's incredibly frustrating. Well, today, we are busting this magic box myth once and for all. Because honestly, you don't lack the right tools, you just need to totally shift how you view them. So here is our roadmap for the explainer. We'll quickly hit the magic box myth, then dive into the 6-step AI workflow. Figure out how to choose the right tool, look at how better prompts make better drafts, manage the risks, and finally build out your minimal beginner stack. All right, let's get into section 1, the magic box myth. The number one reason people struggle with AI isn't a lack of technical skill. It's because they treat it like an automatic push-button solution. And there's a huge fundamental difference you need to grasp here. Not every AI is generative. Regular AI, that's the stuff we've been using for years. It classifies, it detects. Think of the spam filters sorting your inbox, or Netflix recommending your next binge watch. It's brilliant, but it doesn't create anything new. Generative AI, though. The whole point is right there in the name. It generates. It creates or reshapes output. It drafts an email, it designs a concept, it writes a block of code. It acts as a prediction and drafting engine to produce something entirely new based on your specific context. And that brings us to this absolutely crucial definition. Generative AI tools are best understood as drafting and transformation systems. I want to repeat that. Drafting systems. That does not mean the output you get is automatically correct, super original, or anywhere near ready to hit publish. They speed up your thinking, for sure, but they absolutely still require your human judgment. Treat it like a first draft from a really fast but kind of naive intern. It's never the final product. Moving right along to section 2, the 6-step AI workflow. We have to shift our mindset away from endlessly hunting for a magic app and instead build a repeatable process. This workflow right here is how you get from a blinking cursor to a polished result. Because it's not just ask a question, get an answer. It's essentially a mathematically perfect 6-step process. You start with step 1, your input, the basic instruction. Then, and this is huge, step 2, context. Who's the audience? What's the vibe? Step 3 is the AI model actually doing its predictive work, which gets you to step 4, the draft output. Now, this is where 90% of beginners stop. They just take it and run, but you can't. Look at steps 5 and 6. Human review, checking for accuracy and tone, followed by revision, where you iterate and tweak. Following this entire workflow is the real secret to mastering AI. Okay, section 3, choosing the right tool. Even when you have the workflow locked down, you still have to navigate this completely chaotic landscape of tools out there. But thankfully, we can cleanly group all this chaos into a really simple rule of 3. First, you have your general assistants. These are your starting points for brainstorming and everyday drafting. Then, you've got source-grounded tools. These are vital when your answer absolutely must come from a specific document, a PDF, or a research paper. Basically, they prove their work and show you exactly where the answer came from. And finally, specialized tools. You break these out when the final format is what matters most, like when you need a presentation deck, a high-res image, or a specific block of Python code. Seriously, don't try to memorize 100 brand names, just understand these 3 categories. So how do you actually filter through all those options? Before you blindly pick whatever brand name is trending on Twitter or pay for another subscription, run through these 5 practical questions. First, what is the actual task? Second, where should the source information be coming from? Third, what's the risk level if the AI hallucinates and gets it totally wrong? Fourth, what output format do I actually need? And fifth, crucially, can I review and verify the result myself? If a tool fails these basic checks for your specific job, it's just the wrong tool for you. Doesn't matter how cool the demo was. Which takes us to section 4, better prompts, better drafts. Let's zoom back into the input and context steps of our workflow to see how we actually talk to the AI. Check out this before and after. On the weak side, we have a vague, lazy prompt. If you give the AI a vague target, I guarantee you will get a generic, incredibly average output. It's just how the math works. But look at the better prompt. It gives the AI a specific job, a defined target audience, a clear focus, and even boundaries on what to avoid, like avoid hype. By giving the system a much narrower target, you drastically improve the quality of that first draft. The difference is literally night and day. I actually want to pause right here and ask you to reflect on your own prompting habits for a second. Are you out there trying to memorize these insanely complicated prompt engineering formulas you saw some guru post online? Honestly, you don't need to. As this quote perfectly highlights, context beats clever wording every single time. The AI desperately needs your constraints. It needs to know who the audience is, what the ultimate goal is, and what the tone should feel like. If you just provide good, solid context, the AI is going to do a great job.
All right, Section 5, Managing Risks and Limitations. We definitely have to talk about the stakes involved here, because AI models have this nasty habit of sounding incredibly confident while being completely, wildly wrong. It's just a fact. So here are the core guardrails to keep you out of trouble. Number 1, monitor for accuracy risk. Remember, these models predict likely text, they do not guarantee truth. 2, be incredibly careful with privacy risk. Please never paste sensitive client data or your company's private business plans into a public AI tool. 3 and 4, keep an eye out for copyright and bias risks. And finally, over-reliance risk. Think about it like this. If you cannot explain, defend, or improve the output without the tool is doing way too much of your thinking for you. To make managing that risk easy day to day, just treat it like a traffic light. Green light, go for it. Use AI freely for low-risk, private brainstorming or banging out rough outlines. Yellow light, slow way down and review heavily. This is for public, factual, or brand-sensitive stuff, like writing a sales email or a presentation. Red light, stop. Avoid it entirely or demand strict expert review. We're talking high-stakes, sensitive decisions here, legal actions, medical advice, HR decisions. Serious work always requires serious safeguards and actual human judgment. Finally, Section 6, Building Your Beginner Stack. Let's make this highly actionable so you can start right away. Please do not go out today and try to collect dozens of disconnected apps. It's a trap and it will only slow you down. Your minimal beginner stack literally only needs 3 things. Get one flexible general AI assistant to help with your everyday drafting and thinking. Get one source-grounded tool for those times when you need to analyze specific PDFs or research safely. And pick just one specialized tool that fits whatever your main professional output is. Maybe that's a slide generator if you do a lot of presentations, or a coding assistant if you're a developer. That's the whole shebang. Keep it simple. So here is your concrete call to action, your 7-day plan. I want you to pick your most hated, mind-numbingly repetitive task, just one. Pick one tool from your new stack to help you with it and apply that 6-step workflow we covered. And make sure you build in one strong human review habit at the end. Give the tool context, ask for a draft, review it, and revise it. Just build that muscle memory. I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought to chew on. In this space, we constantly ask, hey, can AI do this task? But honestly, that is the entirely wrong question. The much better question is, who is responsible if the output is wrong? AI can draft for you, it can summarize, it can suggest brilliant ideas, but it absolutely cannot carry responsibility. That irreplaceable value, that final accountability, that is entirely human. And that right there is exactly why you are and always will be the most important part of the AI workflow. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy drafting.